This video explains how to print a table in the R programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the R code. In this video I will show you an example, and this example is based on the vector object x that we can create with line 2 of the code. So after running this line of code, a new data object called x is appearing at the top right, and we can print this data object to the RStudio console by running line 3 of the code. And then you can see that our data object contains 9 different values ranging from 1 to 5. Now let's assume that we want to create a frequency table based on these data. Then we can apply the table function, as you can see in line 5 of the code. And within the table function we simply need to specify the name of our data object. So in this case our data object is called x. And then we can store the output of the table function in a new data object that I'm calling myTab. So if you run line 5 of the code, this new data object called myTab is appearing at the top right. And now we can print this data object to the RStudio console by simply executing the name of this data object in a new line, as you can see in line 6 of the code. So after running line 6 of the code, you can see at the bottom in the RStudio console that we have printed our table to the RStudio console. So as you can see, this output shows the name of our data object, x, and then in the first line of this output, it shows the different values in our data object x. So in this case, the values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in the last row of this output, it shows the frequency counts. So the value 1 occurred twice in our data object, the value 2 occurred 3 times in our data object, the value 3 occurred twice in our data object, and the values 4 and 5 are appearing only once in our data object x. Now, if you are looking for a different way on how to print such a table, then you could also apply the view function, as you can see in line 8 of the code. And within this function, we simply need to specify the name of our table. So after running line 8 of the code, a new window is opened. This window contains 2 columns, x and freq. And the column x contains the different elements in our input data object. So in this case, the values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the column freq contains the frequency counts corresponding to each of these elements. So for instance, as you have already seen before, the value 1 occurs twice in our data object x. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage, statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.